Tampa, 9399 North Florida Avenue. We have delicious food, great prices, great atmosphere, a lot of regular customers. So if you haven't been in to check us out, you got to stop in and check us out. We've been here since 1993.
Hart here found himself thrust in the forefront because the county chair didn't want to put a homeless shelter near his home. And Mr. Greg Lockett here started a homeless coalition in St. Petersburg, the one that the city demolished. He's also a reverend. So today we're going to discuss primary homeless issues today. Thanks for being here, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Glad to be here.
Mr. Lockett, you've been very controversial, being homeless, a preacher, falsely accused, falsely arrested, and you're still here. Thanks for being here on the show also. What seems to be the problem with the homeless problem here in Tampa area? What's the main issue there?
To me, the main issue is bureaucratic red tape, and the overhead of a lot of organizations is way too high. Salaries are way too high. There is no room or monies left to actually assist the homeless. Therefore, they go deeper into what we'll call a chronically mental state of homelessness, where they just give up and don't care. As long as they can get something to eat or whatever they need, it's okay to live out there. When it gets rained or cold, automatically you have emergency shelter where people go in. Okay. So it's like they have more freedom there. I consider I have 4 phases. My own definition of homelessness, I have 4 phases. The 4th phase will be chronically homeless. The 3rd phase will be individuals that has got out of prison, jail, or a mental institute, and that's just where they got to hang out. The 2nd phase will be individuals that has gotten out of jail, hospitals, divorce, domestic violence, and so on, and they're stuck out there. The 1st phase, which is the sad thing today, is losing the jobs due to economic problems. We have more families, we have more children out there now. Okay.
Hart, give us who you are, because up until about December, you were nobody in town, except your colleagues, your wife, family, kid, and neighbors. I mean, I never heard of you. Yeah. Now everybody knows you. All the county commissioners know you, and half of them probably fear you this election cycle. So who are you, Hart?
Well, actually, the most important thing in my life is my family. And second to that is my neighborhood, then my community. And I'm kind of thrust at the forefront, I think, by default. This issue of homelessness, in the beginning, to me was, well, gee, I don't want 250 homeless people living across the street from my neighborhood. That's not why we moved here. That's not the type of lifestyle we're looking for, and it scared us. A bachelor's degree in social science, and actually did some social service work as a case manager and things like that, some administrative work, and I also have a law degree, so that does give me a certain, I guess, analytical ability, the way to look at numbers and data, and an ability to do some research, and that's, I think, why this project was of such great interest to me, because it did require a lot of research to understand the homeless problem in Hillsborough. That kind of got, I think, artfully obscured. Okay. I think there's probably 2 main events that occurred. One event was when we obtained the incident reports of what was actually going on at Pinellas Hope Tent City.
From the Sheriff's Department.
From the Pinellas County Sheriff's Department, and we took those names that we found in the incident reports, and among those 113 people, there were over 750 arrests, a lot of them violent crimes, and so that was, I think, a tipping point for the community to really pull together.
Rally behind more.
Absolutely, they understood the importance of stopping this, and then I think the second major turning point is when we discovered that the Homeless Coalition, not just here in Hillsborough County, but on a state level and on a national level, they are all opposed to tents. They do not think tents work. And we were able to, through a series of meetings and discussions, align ourselves with the Homeless Coalition and actually speak with them about this issue, then I think that was also a major turning point.
Okay, thank you.
There are two very obvious mistakes. Fundamentally, their plan to put human beings in tents in a high concentration in a community is flawed.
Okay.
It doesn't work on any level.
And the second mistake they made?
They did not come to my community and speak to us until 4 months after the rezoning was even filed. And they had been actually talking to people, politicians, the Homeless Coalition, and having discussions with people in Hillsborough County 2 to 3 months before they filed the zoning.
Okay. And also let me comment here. Catholic Charities was trying to put a homeless encampment East Hillsborough County, Hillsborough Avenue near Harney Road. They picked their most undervalued, underused, that floods, uneven ground to convert this camp to. And one of the problems I found with that was the lack of concern for the kids in the area, just a humanitarianism of providing services for people. It appeared to just be a money grab. Let's take our useless property, let's turn into a homeless shelter because we can't put cows there, and make $3 million a year. You know, and that's sad to say. But I think in talking to your organization, y'all care about homelessness. Y'all care more about the issue being dealt with properly.
3 specific things. I would say one will to support the Homeless Coalition, their Homeless Coalition. 2, that the Homeless Coalition look for housing.
Solid
housing,
housing,
solid built housing, and it doesn't have to be in one location. I agree with Mr. Hart with that it should be resource centers around the county. There should be different, maybe apartment buildings, trailer parks, or whatever, where the county comes in and say, look, let's work with this. We work with you. We do this right here. You house, say, give me 5 trailers for the homeless. Families, start off with the families and then gradually move up to the individual. But you definitely need, with drugs, alcohol, the mentality has to be changed. You definitely need a long-term type solution. But in the old days, they had this thing called behavior modification, which was Spectrum back in South Florida where I was. I like that idea because the only way that you're going to break something is you have to really change it. How do you change it? You allow them to change, but you show them the alternatives.